Hi everyone, what's up? My name is Alex and welcome back to a brand new throwback review. Last time I reviewed episode 6 of series 1, Dalek, which was an unbelievable review. And today I'm reviewing episode 7 of series 1, The Long Game. Now this review should have been done 2 weeks ago. However, during the course of those 2 weeks, I had to catch up on all of my coursework as well as with coping with my work schedule. So I decided to take a break from YouTube just for 2 weeks, just so I could recharge my batteries, and the weather has been absolutely glorious these past few weeks. And so, without further ado, let's begin my review on episode 7 of series 1, The Long Game. In the far future, in the year 200,000, Satellite 5 broadcasts to the fourth great and bountiful human empire. Nothing escapes the eye of the sinister editor, and the Doctor suspects mankind is being manipulated. But just who is this editor working for, and does Adam have what it takes to become the Time Lord's companion? Now, The Long Game is known to be one of the least favourite episodes from series 1. It doesn't have the makings of a brilliant episode, however, I really enjoy it. The episode's plotline was quite interesting of how they broadcast and stream the news all throughout the galaxy. It's a very light-hearted episode with some okay characters, and plus the look of this episode looks really good. Again, not notable for being one of the best episodes, but on the other hand it does showcase some more character traits between the Doctor, Rose and Adam. Now, the majority of Doctor Who fans really hate Adam in this episode, and yes, I'm one of those people. I really can't stand him. In Dalek, he was alright. I don't hate the actor, I believe he did an okay job, but his overall attitude of his character was just awful. There's nothing too special about him in this episode other than he's got a microchip inside his brain and his head opens. There's something about him that I really dislike. The fact that he goes off on his own, leaving the Doctor and Rose. He becomes more mischievous and sneaky when he's trying to steal information and send it back home for his own personal uses. He was helping himself to everything, and because of that the Doctor drops him back down on Earth because he only takes the best and he's got Rose. The thing is, Adam is just so bland as a character. If he only stayed with the Doctor, and then at least he wouldn't get into trouble. However, he goes off on his own and decides to have brain surgery, like his brain isn't already as bad as it is. And this means that he can use any computer, and he becomes the computer through the use of the InfoSpike. The InfoSpike is a genetic microchip that gets implanted into the center of the forehead, which gets activated by the click of the fingers. Personally, I really like the design and the whole idea of the InfoSpike, of how it downloads or streams information into the brain, and from there it all gets processed, in which later it can be transmitted to every broadcast station around the galaxy. It's a clever idea, however, if too much information gets absorbed, then Adam's head will blow up because there's just too much to process. The Long Game is an underrated episode in my opinion, as it's a very humorous episode, especially as this episode features Simon Pegg, who plays the editor. I find him incredibly funny, and yet he still has the makings of a good villain. Sometimes he's sinister, cold and creepy, and yet he still brings that comedy feeling to it, which makes the whole episode really entertaining. His dialogue is very much similar to the dialogue of the Joker. It's very manipulative and devious, as well as having a childish attitude, which showcases a lot of fun with his character. In terms of repulsive and sickening aliens or monsters, this episode possibly contains one of the most revolting monsters in the whole of Doctor Who, but in a good way though. The mighty Jaggerfest is one hell of a beast. The Jaggerfest is in charge of the whole fourth great and bountiful human empire, where humans are allowed to live with kind permission from the mighty Jaggerfest. It's said to be that for almost 100 years, the mighty Jaggerfest has been guiding mankind with its knowledge and ambition to help shape and manipulate the whole human race, in which the Jaggerfest has strictly controlled it by its broadcast news. I really like the design of the Jaggerfest. It's basically one great big giant blob of alien flesh, but the visual effects make it look so futuristic. It has a lifespan of 3,000 years, which obviously means that the Jaggerfest has a high metabolism, generating tons of heat. That's why Satellite 5 is so hot. The heat gets pumped out of the creature and it gets channeled downstairs, which keeps the Jaggerfest alive and cool. It's an interesting creature that I really like the look of. I'm not going to focus too much on the other characters, as I didn't really enjoy their performances. Some characters were okay, some of them didn't really showcase anything different or interesting, which was a really huge letdown for me. Also, they didn't really focus a lot on the alien side of the space station, which unfortunately made this episode pretty dull around the humans. The graphics and special effects were used really well. The way they made Satellite 5 look so realistic and futuristic at the same time was just incredible, as well as the interior design of Floor 500. It's bleak, it's dark, it's icy and cold, and it definitely sums up the high expectations that these people had when they were working towards promotions. The walls are made of gold. It's more like that the walls are made of cold ice instead. It's ironic that the best episode of Doctor Who's first series, Dalek, is followed by the weakest, The Long Game. Adding to the crushing sense of disappointment is the fact that the incriminated 45 minutes are written by none other than Russell T Davies, the man responsible for bringing Doctor Who back in the first place. Normally his stories are among the best of each series because they're usually part of a more complex mythological arc, similar to what Chris Carter conjured on the X-Files. But whereas Carter never wrote an X-Files episode that they couldn't be enjoyed without considering the bigger picture, Davies has managed to come up with a story that makes little sense on its own and seems to exist solely to set up a more important story later on in the series. The consequence is that most of The Long Game passes by without leaving anything memorable behind. Christopher Eccleston and Billie Piper are always the most important members of the cast because both of them clearly put in 100% effort into every single episode. They are the glue which keeps the viewers intact with the whole episode. When rewatching this episode, it was really difficult to enjoy the scenes with Adam because he was just uninteresting, and personally the Doctor and Rose are so engaging in this episode. They clearly know what each other is thinking of and their pairing is just brilliant, and the way they solve the problem together just shows the great character development between both of them. Plus, Simon Pegg, as a huge fan of the show, showcasing his outstanding acting ability along with his comedical jokes and childish attitude, reverses his slacker image with an OTT but still utterly enjoyable villainous turn and saved this episode from being a throwaway experience. My overall rating for this episode is a 7 out of 10. Please let me know what did you think about this episode in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like this review and remember to please subscribe to this channel for more amazing videos. My humble apologies for the delay of this review as it's been a while since I last did a throwback review due to my work schedule and my important coursework. Anyway, thanks again for watching and stay tuned next time where I'll be reviewing episode 8 of series 1, Father's Day. Now, it won't be uploaded on actual Father's Day, but it might be uploaded some point next week. Anyway, thanks again for supporting the channel because all of you are amazing, and until next time, take care of yourselves, enjoy the sunshine, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye!